Good morning, gentlemen and ladies of HVAC. I'm here at this house ready to retrofit our other system with R422B, and I hope that you guys come along for the ride. I'm going to continue to work on a catchphrase that is good for this channel, that makes my channel grow and I become popular like Justin Bieber or maybe the Spice Girls or something. Oh, look, I must have done a good job. This other one's working. All right. Hey, new catchphrase. All right, put my cool hat on. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. No. I have my containers here. I actually got these at Big Lots. They're called EZ Storage, and they're IP67. And I have my Y-jack probes in here, some fittings, hoses. Over here I have my vacuum stuff, some vacuum pump oil, charging scale. So it's kind of cool to have these. Nice to put in the back of the truck. So the good news, it looks like I have pressure still on the system from a couple weeks ago, which means it holds pressure. Some of our dryer movement right there. Have our new brace dryer on the outside. So one of the things that was interesting is that this system seems to be sectioned off either by the compressor check valve and a hard shut off TXV. I guess that's what it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of release some of the pressure. You know, see how it falls here? See how it falls on the other section? And make sure it's falling on every section. We can check all four of these, but for some reason it was really almost like lodged in one particular area. So I want to make sure that we have a good vacuum, and that's why I'm doing this, so I can make sure I put vacuum hoses on every part of the system that has some kind of restriction in between, so we don't have to worry about pulling through a restriction. Another thing I want to do is check and make sure all the valve cores are new, because we are changing refrigerants, and we might as well change them anyway, even if we were working with the same refrigerant, because they tend to leak over time. So I think I changed all these. The first two I checked out already changed. So I'll check the ones over here. We'll check and make sure these valves are open right here, and then we'll start the vacuum process. I guess no plugged in yet. Long way. Wait a second. I like the ground on this one. It's a good grounded system right there. That's what you want on your DC pump. Opening up the valve core for the VCRTs. Have an unorthodox system here. I'll turn on the micron gauge in a second. We'll see how we're doing. It's been 2 or 3 minutes. We're down to 47, 46, 80. Pump's quieted down a little bit, so we'll see how she goes. I got to go turn on the breaker in the crawl space, and I can go ahead and turn the air handler on and test the blower and make sure everything's working on that end. Down here in the crawl space, I still have my awesome light up here. It's not on right now. I should probably take that with me. I shouldn't be giving away my awesome light. Condensate pump, unistrut air handler. Air handler looks pretty good for an old bird. And of course, as soon as I open up the disconnect, you know, the face falls off of it. So that is offline. You had to flip it over to be online. Let's see how our main panel looks now. A little while back, it was none too good. Crawl space heat. Turn that on. AC number 2. Turn that on because the disconnect's off. And let's go turn the blower on the thermostat. We can tell real quick by going over to the heat pump, seeing if the defrost board has a blinking LED. And there we go, blinking LED. Vacuum leaves something to be desired, going nice and slow like the last one. So we're just going to let it roll for a little while, I guess. Might have to break it with nitrogen too. We'll see what happens. We'll let it roll. All right, hey. Let's see. Yeah, that definitely works. You can hear that. It's loud. Must be that floor register. Oh, it's closed off. Good grief. Yeah, we just gotta close them all off, I guess. Let me go around and open these things up. That's gonna cause an airflow restriction. They're kind of dirty too, ain't they? Good grief. This is not my choice. Got a nice bathroom here. A couple outlets. Got one here, one around the corner in the closet. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if we have a zonal pressure difference. No, not too bad. Come on now. Not too bad at all. A little bit. Doesn't slam shut though. What we can do now is I'll put it in cool. And we'll put it down low because we want to test it after it gets done. Put it down to 60. We should have a little clicky. There it is. We'll make sure the contactor's pulled in outside. Well, I made a little mistake because contactor's not going to be pulled in because the low pressure switch has it offline because we're in a vacuum and therefore our pressure's too low to operate. That ain't moving a whole lot right there. So I moved the micron gauge over here, 1988, so it's a little bit lower, but it's still not all that low. So I might break it with nitrogen and go ahead and start pulling again to see if we improve upon what we're doing here. And I need to double check those valves because I never did that, but I'm pretty sure they're open, but I need to check. Since our micron gauge is kind of stagnant, I'm going to break this vacuum with nitrogen and let it roll again. We just now broke under 2,000, so it's slow going. And I'm going to shut these off. See, it has a pretty decent rise right there. I know it's tight, so that's not the issue. Take this off for just a moment. Put the vacuum pumps up there. I'll add some nitrogen and I'll test the pressure so you can break vacuum and go right at atmosphere. I have my pressure gauge. Let some nitrogen on. Right at atmosphere. Start the vacuum over again. See how we do. I like to be productive, so while I'm waiting for the vacuum, do a little bit of exercise, a little bit of walking. I like to do walking anyway. 2 birds with 1 stone right here. I do like to be efficient with my stones whenever I'm killing birds. So do a little bit of walking. So far we've gone about 4/10 of a mile. Burned some calories. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. House is looking good. Really good. Truck's looking dirty. Really dirty. So we're doing better this time. It's been about 15 minutes or so and we're down to 13. It's still moving slow. So I might break it one more time and see if that does the trick. I think that's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna break it one more time and I hope you guys never see a micron gauge again as far as this video. So the vacuum gets closer and closer to where we want it to be. Oh, look at that. It turned off just when I did that. So, that's better. But, you know, it's coming to a time where we're going to say, we just try to get to 1,000 now. The standards are lowering here, guys. That's because we have an old bird. And I know that when I say, hey, the vacuum might take a little bit longer, it's like, get it good enough. How do you feel about that, guys? Getting it good enough? Is that okay? Or is that something we should strive to avoid? I have my can of 422B here. We're gonna put it up on the Yellow Jacket scale and I'm gonna see how much I can get into the machine with it sitting static like this, and then we'll fire her up and we'll see how much it takes to get her all squared away. I'm gonna skip this part as far as the video because I use the app to do the weigh-in. So this is just gonna be weighing in refrigerant anyway, so no big deal. So the system took about 5 pounds out of the jug, sitting just static. I switched it from liquid line to the suction line so we can put in some more. I'm gonna add the Y-jack probes here for liquid, suction over here, and the temperature clamps. Then we're gonna fire the system up, which should be ready to go. Our contactor did pull in when our pressure switch was closed. So we're about ready to fire it up for the first time. First time is relative, of course. It's ran many times. That one just broke probably. Well, it actually runs. Another plus. It actually runs. It's a miracle. All right, let's go to the gauges. It ran for about 2 seconds and it's off, probably on low pressure. So our system seemed to be pumping down. It should have enough charge in it where it doesn't do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it into heat cycle just by pulling the wire on the reversing valve to see if it runs in heating cycle and monitor the pressures there. Either wire will be fine. See, it starts right up again. And I'm gonna go to my digital gauges on my app and see what they say. So I'm going to give it another minute or so to run in heat, and then we're going to reverse it again by plugging in that same common wire to the solenoid on the reversing valve, and we'll see if she pumps down again. If she pumps down again, we know we have a problem with the indoor TXV, 99% positive. Unfortunately, sometimes it is a TXV. Unfortunately, this looks like a bad TXV. Not good. Not preferable at all. So this is our TXV right here, and on the top you see a copper line coming off, and typically what I'll see is that bulb on the top has lost pressure and the TXV just shuts down. Now I was going to see what kind of TXV this was. I think I had one at the house, but it's brazen. Just a 3/8 on one side, 3/8 out on the other side, I believe. 3 tons. But this one is a bolt-on, which is easy to change out if they have them in stock. That is the biggest question. So I got to call in. I haven't called a Trane part house in quite a while, so that'll be interesting. See what they have. But that's our culprit right there.